Welcome! Today we will learn how to crochet a puff heart. Like this one here. We will stuff the heart with polyester fiber. This polyester fiber that's used in pillows or bed covers, and you can find it at upholstery materials shops. So let's get started. We'll start with these two parts at the top of the heart. These two parts are basically two circles. We'll start with 3 chains. This is the starting knot. 1, 2, 3. And close it with a slip stitch. We'll single crochet, so we should start with a chain, but we won't. We'll go directly into the stitch and do 2 single crochets. Notice that I'm weaving the extra strand in my work to get a nice and neat finish. Also notice that I didn't start with a chain as we said because we're not making a closed circle. We'll make a spiral circle. So we did 2 single crochets in the first stitch, and another 2 single crochets in the second stitch, and 2 single crochets in the third stitch. So now we have 6 stitches. I'll put a stitch marker here to mark where the starting is. Then we start the second row with 2 single crochets in the first stitch. We'll do 2 stitches in each stitch in this row as well. So we'll have 12 stitches in this row. Now we finish the 12 stitches. I'll move the marker. I'll move it up here. The pattern for the next row is 2 single crochets in 1 stitch. Then an individual stitch. 2 stitches. Then an individual. Two stitches. Individual. Then 2. Individual. Then 2 stitches. And this is the last stitch. Now the first circle is completed. Cut the yarn. We'll do the second circle exactly like this one. Now the two circles are done and we'll start connecting them both together. Let's see how we'll connect them, but first I'll cut off the extra strand. This is the front side. And this is the back. I'll connect them by the front side of each one, matching this loop and that one in front of each other. We have one loop on the hook which is connected to the yarn ball and the other loop is of the other circle. I'll pull this loop through the one on the hook, so I almost did a slip stitch with both loops. Then insert the hook into the stitch in the first circle and then into the opposite stitch in the other circle. So I'm inserting the hook into each two opposite stitches, then yarn over and pull through and do a slip stitch. So we did a slip stitch with first two loops, then we pull through both stitches to do another slip stitch. And I'll do another slip stitch. So now I connected them with 4 stitches. Now both circles are connected. I'll start circling around both circles together. So I need to mark the starting point of the round. I'll put the stitch marker here. Now insert the hook into the first stitch. And start doing one single crochet in each stitch. I'm doing individual stitches, one single crochet in each stitch. I'll do one single crochet between both circles and continue the round around the second circle. Doing one single crochet in each stitch without any increases or decreases. We'll notice the circle is starting to get narrow, and that's what we want. We've reached the mark and we'll start the second round. Starting from here, we'll change the pattern. This is the first stitch, then the second one, and the third, the fourth. I did 4 individual stitches. Then I'll do a decrease at 5th and 6th stitches. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a decrease at 5th and 6th. 1, 2, 3, 4, then a decrease at 5th and 6th. So in this row I did 4 individual single crochets. Then I did a decrease at 5th and 6th stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a decrease. These are the last 2 stitches and we've reached the mark to start a new row. For the new row I'll start with an individual stitch. 2, 3, 3 individual stitches. Then a decrease at the 4th and 5th stitches. So first we connected both circles with 4 slip stitches. First round we did around both circles was all individual stitches, 1 single crochet in each stitch. The second row the sequence was 4 individual stitches, then a decrease at 5th and 6th stitches. We'll do less individual stitches in the third row. So we'll do 3 individual stitches, then a decrease at 4th and 5th stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, and a decrease at the 4th and 5th. 1, 2, 3, and a decrease. 2, 3, and a decrease at the 4th and 5th. 2, 3, and a decrease. 1, 2, 3. Now we'll notice the width of this part is starting to get narrow. The wide top part of the heart is done and now it will start narrowing. Starting from here I'll follow the same pattern, so I'll remove the pin as I don't need to mark the starting point. The sequence we'll follow now is 2 individual stitches. 1 single crochet in each stitch, then a decrease at 3rd and 4th stitches. So 1 stitch, then a decrease. Individual, individual, and a decrease. Individual, individual, and a decrease. Individual, then a decrease. And then 1 stitch, and 1 stitch, then a decrease. I'll cut this off. One stitch, 1 stitch, and a decrease. One stitch, 1 stitch, and a decrease. a decrease. Now before I close it up, I'll stuff it. I'll stuff the fiber into the heart like so. Try to compress it into the top part of the heart. I'm taking a decent amount, compress it and stuff it into the heart until I'm happy with its firmness. So put a suitable amount of fiber until you're satisfied with the firmness of the heart. Compress it like so to reduce its size, then stuff it. Let's put a little bit more here. Now let's continue. The pattern is the same without any changes. We do 2 individual stitches. Two individual stitches, then a decrease. One stitch, one stitch, then 2 stitches together. One, 2. I'm not happy with the firmness of the last part, so I'll put more fiber before I close it up. And we continue until we close up the hole. And we finish off with the decrease. The finishing is a little bit annoying. Now pull through all loops. Finish off and pull the yarn out a bit. Then cut it off. Adjust the fiber. Now the stuffed heart is done. I'll just weave in the ends of the last part using the yarn needle. Like so. Now we completed the puff heart. Thank you.